back with another video. Today we got the new retro carded Venom from the 85 years collection line. Looking pretty dope. I just got him in the mail today, so I thought we would unbox him together, check him out in a little bit more detail, and see if he was worth picking up. So if that sounds interesting, let's get into it. So checking out the packaging real quick, we do get this nice Spider-Man retro card, and this is super nostalgic. It looks really good. We get a nice blister with Venom showcased there with this extra head sculpt instead of fist hands. We get the celebrating 85 years logo, some nice artwork here, and then the Spider-Man logo up top. Pretty clean and simple. On the back we get the blueprint here showing that you could switch out his hands and his head. We get the same artwork, and then we do get a little read up of Venom. But yeah, overall this package is super dope for mint on card collectors. You are gonna be happy with this one. But let's get him popped open and check him out in further detail. And here is Venom out of the packaging, looking pretty dope. He is pretty accurate to the animated series Venom, and I do think he looks good. There is a few new things on this Venom compared to the other older ones. I don't have either one of those, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive one or the Riot 3-pack one. I never picked those up, but we're just gonna be taking a look at this guy and checking out the good and bad with him. So let's get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, so checking out the new Venom here. Take a closer look at his head sculpt, and this is a reused head sculpt, I believe, from the 3-pack one, and it does look good. We get some nice pearlescent white eyes, some nicely sculpted and painted teeth, and then we get this tongue that is, I think this one's pink compared to the other one, which was a little bit more red. But overall it is a nice head sculpt. One thing to note, on top of his head here, kind of hard to see, but it is sculpted all the way here, and the paint kind of stops not halfway, but it doesn't fill it in all the way, so that's kind of a bummer. I wish they would have filled that in all the way. But overall it is a nice head sculpt, but I do like the other head sculpt that we got. So let's pop this one off and check that one out. And here is this head sculpt. So this is the more Todd McFarlane style head sculpt, and I gotta say this one looks really good. We get the nice big wide eyes, get some nicely sculpted teeth, and they're painted fairly well. Get a little bit of a splotch there, but it's not too bad. But I think this one looks really good compared to the other one. I wish we could have gotten just like a fully unmasked Eddie Brock head. That would have been cool, since we kind of did get this one already with the other pack. I wish they would have done something new here, but I think this captures Venom's essence really good. He does look menacing here. But checking out his torso, we get the nicely painted logo there, and that looks really clean. We get some nice black detail lines throughout, and it's just on his chest. It's a little bit smaller, I believe, than the other one, so it's not broken up by the butterfly joints. That is cool. And it does stretch all the way to his abdomen. It's painted all the way up into there. That looks good. And then same thing on the back. This side is broken up by the butterfly joint, so you're not gonna see it too often, but it is there. There's a little bit of overspray on this side, but not too bad. Pretty clean overall. And then we do get some sculpted detail on his arms here, some veins, same thing on this side, and it's only on his arms. I wish they would have maybe spread it throughout him a little bit more. It's nowhere else on the figure, so that's kind of a bummer. I wish they would have maybe on his legs or something to make him pop. But I do like this buck. It is using reused parts because we can tell from our pin joints. We get them on the legs and the arms. I wish they would have retooled them and gave us pinless joints, but I think the only thing that's retooled is his upper torso to give us this new ball peg system up here with the reverse ab crunch. So I think it does work, but I wish they would have just added a little bit more to him to kind of make him pop even more. But yeah, let's check out the articulation and then we'll wrap this up. Alright, so for Venom's articulation here, his head is on a double ball peg, and so that means it does swivel, and we do get some nice head pivoting. That is cool, but we have a huge problem, and that he can't look up with either of the head sculpts, so that is a huge bummer. I don't know why Hasbro is struggling with the ball pegs, but it's because they're set too far in. They need to be pulled up a little bit more so they can get some more range. He can look down really good, so that's cool, but I guess we can chalk it up to Venom's never gonna be looking up to anybody to fight. He's always gonna be looking down at Spider-Man. But that is a bummer. I wish he could look up some more, because if you get him into some crouching poses, you're gonna have to be using his reverse ab crunch and his torso articulation to really bring him back, so he'll be looking like he's looking up. So that sucks. As far as the arms go, they don't go fully all the way out. They go almost 90, so not the best. They do go all the way around. We get nice butterfly joints. They go pretty far back, go pretty far in. He can touch his hands together, so that's cool. You can choke out Spider-Man. But we do get this new articulation for his torso, and he can lean back that much, and without using the reverse ab crunch, he can lean that far forward, and then he does tilt very little though. It's not a lot, but it's okay. And then he will rotate on that with the ab crunch here, or reverse ab crunch. He can lean that far back, and then see how far forward. So pretty far forward. That's pretty good. But see, we wouldn't be able to get his head looking forward, so that's a bummer. Oversight on Hasbro's part. It does get a little gappy here if you bend that part too far back, so just be mindful of that. We get double jointed arms here that are pinned, and those work fine. We get the bicep swivel, and he has a swivel and a hinge on his hands. And I did forget to mention, we do get fisted hands with him, so that's the only other accessory next to the head. So bare minimum on the accessories again. I wish they would start giving us, web effects or something with our figures, because they are getting more expensive and we're getting less and less, so that sucks. But let's check out his legs here. That's as far out as they go, and that is terrible. They don't drop down. Kick that far forward and a little bit back. So I don't know why it's so limited. Obviously you can see why they need to cut out more of the plastic there. I don't know why they did that. So that's really limited. And then we get upper thigh cut, works fine. His double jointed pin knees work fine. No boot cut, but he does have ankle rockers and a hinge, so those all work fine. So yeah, he doesn't have the best articulation from the new figures. I feel like they went one step forward and 5 steps back kind of in the articulation department here, but I think he could have used a little bit more time on the drawing board. But yeah, let's go over some final thoughts and then we'll wrap this up. Let's do some height comparisons real quick. Here's Venom with his old self here. This is, I think, the Venom from the Absorbing Man Build-A-Figure wave. So compared to this guy, he is a huge upgrade. He looks 100 times better. The body mold is way better. This one I think is on the Hyperion body mold, and it's just, this one's super outdated, but I've had him on my shelf for a while. And then checking out the next one here, we got the Null 2-pack Venom, and I do really like this one. He has a lot of detailing throughout, and he has been my definitive Venom for a while now, but he does stand a bit taller, but he does look good still. Next up we got Luke Cage here. So Venom stands a bit taller than him. And then next up we got our old school anti-Venom, which he does need an update too. So Venom stands taller than him. And then lastly, let's bring out Null here, and they do look good together. Null stands pretty tall, but yeah, just a few comparisons. Overall, this Venom does look really good proportion wise. But last, we can't forget our Spider-Man. Let me bring him out. And here he is next to the Renew Your Vows Spidey, and I think they match up really well together, and they'll make for a really cool display. So yeah, that's the few comparisons I got for you guys. But let's move into some final thoughts, and we'll wrap this up. So final thoughts on this figure. I do really think he looks good, and I am overall happy with him. For me, he was a definite cop, since I don't have any of the other ones like the Hasbro Pulse one or the 3-pack. So yeah, he was a definite cop for me. But if you guys have that one already, or one of those, I wouldn't recommend him, just because this torso articulation and this ball peg in the head is not really a worthy upgrade. Maybe if he got like an unmasked head and some web effects or something, it would have been a worthwhile pickup. But yeah, if you don't have him, I would definitely cop him if you can find him. He is a Walmart exclusive, so you should be able to find him in stores now, hopefully. But yeah guys, that was just a quick review. Thanks for hanging out with me, and don't forget to sub and hit that like button. But other than that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.